Hello, I'm Denise Holiday D'Amico. I am your instructor for History 104, U.S. History 1877 to the present. I made this video to introduce you to myself, to the class. Hopefully you can get to know me a little bit and you will do really well in the class. I'm so glad that you're here taking the class. I love history. I love teaching history. I can't wait to share it with you. So to let you know, I am a real human being, not some kind of computer robot. I've put a picture here of, this is me, Denise D'Amico. It's my husband and my dog, Mango Jalapeno. So I am a real person, and today I'm going to talk to you, we're going to eventually get to history, who cares? I put this here in case people were tempted to just watch the PowerPoint. Make sure you listen to this video, I said. So here's what I'm going to do in this video. I'm going to introduce myself in the class. I'm going to make sure you have what you need to succeed, hopefully, and that you know what you need to know to succeed. And then really briefly, I'm just going to share with you some of my thoughts about why you should care about the past, about history. So here's me again, Dr. D'Amico. That's with a former student. I really encourage you to reach out to me. Put this picture here to show you how approachable I am. I am not scary. I love to hear from you, from my online students, especially because we don't see each other face-to-face in a classroom. Do not hesitate to reach out to me. You can always message me on Canvas or you can email me. And here's my email address, ddamico@francis.edu. I want you to know about me that my teaching philosophy is that, I guess, first of all, I want you to know that I want you to succeed, as I wrote here. I want you to get through this class with the grade that you want to get and move on to whatever else you're doing in your life. So whatever I can do to help you with that, do not hesitate to reach out. Secondly, I want you to understand that this is not one of those history classes where you're going to be memorizing a bunch of names and dates and sort of reciting them back to me. In my philosophy, and this is really the philosophy of a lot of college history professors, I think nowadays, we're really interested in making sure you understand concepts and in making sure that you focus on analysis. So do not expect to memorize, expect instead to think. That's what I'm hoping that you'll do in this class. So because I want you to succeed, I'm asking you, do you have what you need to succeed? First of all, do you understand how to contact me? I think you do. I said it earlier and I'll say it again. You can message me on Canvas. You can email me at ddamico@francis.edu. So don't hesitate to do that. Do you have good internet access? Do you understand our course Canvas page? So let me just pull that up right now. So here's our course Canvas page. You can click either here, start here, and you see our introductory activities and then the different weeks and assignments of the class. Somewhat interestingly, you can also get to that same place by clicking content on the course page. So I just want you to see that what we have here, I'll go back and show you again. So I'm on our course homepage. I could click either start here or content. I'm clicking content. Here information including our course map, which is basically our syllabus. The book, a link to the book. And as I said in an announcement I made for this class earlier, you can either just click this link and that takes you to the text of the book, or if you may prefer to buy the book and have a copy of it. I think that's a little bit easier. The book is not very expensive. Howard Zinn, A People's History of the United States. Any edition is okay. You can find it used on different websites, Amazon, thriftbooks.com, etc. So I'm going back to our course, what you get to when you click either content or start here. And we have some introductory activities, which are due very early in week 1. Some information that can help you with those activities. The top here, we have our course map, which is like a syllabus. And this just lays out everything that's due and when it's due. So if you're like me and you like to use a planner, a calendar, this information can probably help you with that. So then as we get into the weeks of the class, here's the content, here's what's due, and so on and so forth. So that's our course page. Hopefully you understand it. Here's what the book looks like if you choose to buy a hard copy of the book. The work of the course is as follows. We're reading some different chapters from this book. We have other readings, each of which are linked in the appropriate place. There are some videos we watch a little bit later on too. And then basically every week you're going to complete reading outlines, which will ask you about the readings for that week, and some journal assignments. It's important to understand that the journal assignments have additional readings or sometimes videos within them. So you may, don't think, oh, I can do a journal in 15 minutes. No, set aside enough time to do that. And many, not every week, but many weeks, we will also be doing discussions with the class. And that's on Canvas with the discussion board feature. We will have 3 essays due in the class, roughly every 2-ish weeks. And those essays are worth the most amount of points. You can see all this information in the course map, how much everything is worth. So those 3 essays are really what you want to make sure that you put time and effort into, because I do know this class is a lot of work. And so I'm going to say, if you have to pick and choose what to spend your time doing, I would say look at the essays, although the essays you do need to have done this other work to help you with that. But if you have to choose what to focus on those essays. So yes, this course is a lot of work. I know that. It's because we're cramming, a full 3 credits worth of college work into 8 weeks. So, I really want you to succeed and to position yourself to succeed. And I'm just going to go ahead right now and tell you it's okay to skim. There's a lot of reading. So my advice to you is to look at the assignment questions, look at the essay questions now, look at the journal questions, look at the reading outline questions, and give yourself permission to skim the readings to find the answers. The other thing I really want to encourage you to do is evaluate for yourself. The Beatles have a song written by George Harrison, 1965, called Think for Yourself. So I'm going to say, don't be afraid to think for yourself, to evaluate for yourself. You do not need to agree with everything that Howard Zinn, he's the author of the book you're reading, or any other author writes. You do not have to agree with me, your instructor. So, think analytically, and don't be afraid to do that and to think for yourself. Sometimes there is no right or wrong answer. Sometimes it's just analysis. So I want you to succeed. I want you to focus on concepts, not details. We're not memorizing, we're evaluating. One of my professors used to say, historians don't give eulogies, we perform autopsies. And by that she meant the real job of the historian is not to go around talking about how great everything in the past was and just to have everything memorized, but it's rather to analyze. So history, look, it's going to get political sometimes, especially this class brings us all the way up to the present. So it's okay to disagree with the book, with me, with one another. Just keep it respectful. And here's my example. This is Tip O'Neill. He was the Democratic leader of the House for a long time during Ronald Reagan's presidency. Ronald Reagan was a Republican. They disagreed about everything, but they also were able to work together. They even got together and had cocktails at 6 o'clock pretty frequently, apparently. So use them as your example, I suppose. So work smart. You're going to work hard. You are. But also work smart. Read for concepts, not details. Look at the assignment questions before doing the reading and evaluate for yourselves. Here are some helpful definitions, which I also will be acquainting you with throughout the class. So when historians talk about sources, we talk about two main kinds of sources. One is primary sources, which is any document from the time period that you're studying, like maybe a letter from a soldier during World War II. A secondary source is anything that is analyzing the past that's been written, more recently, such as the book you're reading for this class. And here's a big word, historiography, which means a very simple concept, which is just the study of how historians have studied the past. We've actually, each generation reinterprets the past for itself. We do not all agree about what actually happened or how or why it happened. The past is complicated, just like the present. So in this class, I'm going to be encouraging you to develop your own interpretations and analysis. So here's my little pitch about why history matters. I know you're probably not studying to become a history professor like me. I love history, and you should become a history professor if you want to, but mostly you're not. So why should you care? Here's my pitch. I think that in the end of the day, we are the stories we tell ourselves about ourselves. That's true on a personal level. It's true on a collective level. It's true maybe in your family. It's true, certainly, I think, in the United States of America. The stories we tell ourselves about American history kind of come to be who we are. How we think about the past influences how we think about the present, and then vice versa also. So, however you think human nature works, you're going to tend to apply that backwards in time. Similarly, how you think about the past quite often affects what you think about the present. And so just one example is lately we've been seeing a lot of controversies about Confederate statues. Should they stay up? Should they come down? Whatever you think about that, that is a perfect example of people really having a debate about the past and what the past means and what should or should not be remembered or commemorated. Every generation rewrites its own history. How we understand topics, such as some of these, which we'll be covering in our class, it's actually really different today than how we understood and taught about it, even just 20, 40, 100 years ago. So one great example that's certainly been coming up a lot lately is what is the role of immigration in American history? If we're a nation of immigrants, what does that have to do with our current debates about immigration today? And I'm not really here to answer that exact question for you because I want you to develop your own interpretations. I think this can really help you understand the challenges we face in our world today in a better way, because actually there's not very much that's new. One famous saying is that history doesn't repeat itself, but it does rhyme. So a lot of what we talk about right now, those are rhymes, stuff that we as a nation have dealt with before. Okay, so do not hesitate to contact me. I'm here for you. I want you to think for yourselves. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there a little bit. Don't be afraid to work smart while you're also working hard. Best of luck with the class, and I'm so excited to share this journey with you.